configuration tools like Ansible and Chef, and programming languages Java, Python, and Go. And I had experience in monitoring tools as well, like Prometheus, Grafana, Splunk, and AWS CloudWatch. Mainly AWS CloudWatch actually, and cloud tools, cloud implementations like mainly AWS and Azure as well. Little bit of experience. So coming back to my current projects, I was a part of a big architecture and engineering team actually. So my role is to support multiple business units and multiple application teams actually. So my role is to work with the application teams and start with their architecting. When I say architecting, it's like a platform architecture actually. After completing the architecture of the application teams, so we did work on the development of the application process, so like setting up the complete CI/CD pipelines for them. So currently, what I am doing was like we are supporting those applications. We have moved from on-prem to AWS cloud. Like I'm supporting around like 25 plus applications right now, and I have experience in. So that's about myself. And like mainly our project is mainly focused on like infrastructure actually. Like we use Terraform a lot to create IAC in AWS. So that's about myself.
Got it. So what kind of apps are you supporting? Like are they web applications or something else?
Yes. So basically they are like primarily the web applications which we have been actually using in a moment. So like basically these web applications are in like in Java actually. So like we also have the general application deployments, and we also have the job automation services like which are actually, I didn't see them. So we use these Java web applications to deploy them onto the third party. So we have got some of the web front ends as well as blank like microservices databases which we are integrated and like we use these with Java web APIs to trigger them on the application side. So mainly web applications. So that's what mainly.
Okay. How do you monitor the performance of your web applications?
So yeah, for that, like basically, with performance of the web applications, we will be using monitoring tools like New Relic, as well as as well as reduce the performance tools like App Dynamics for training them on the application side as well. So these are really helpful for doing that. So.
Okay. So what kind of monitoring services you have used in New Relic?
Yeah. So basically, like we have got one New Relic actually. So we also have the CloudWatch. We also have like Prometheus for the application monitoring inside the application side, which handles inside the application code, which is like triggered and say that also differ them with the container services on the source code. So we're also able to work on work on the source code as well, like which is actually triggered inside that. So we also work on the source environment and deploy that on the application. So it really like creates the environment content services and deployments. So we also like get these service automation which are required on the development solutions and development deployment side. So
okay. So what are the different metrics that you fetch from New Relic?
So basically, the various metrics from the New Relic, like we fetch like couple of backend metrics which are deployed in the center. So we also fetch some metrics like the application metrics. So we also use the application metrics as well. So inside that, we actually able to get the needed metric event logs and traces, and like which means like numeric measurement of the application or system. Like we also define the platform reports in the metric API and also an application performance monitoring, which is deployed there. So we also have like alerts which are actually sent out on the top of that. So once these alerts are created, we also did these customer platforms on the top of the automated API triggers and deployment of the performance monitoring, which is triggered in CIDS. Also, like we can get the deployments, get the EPA callbacks, and also working on these services.
Okay, EPA. Sorry, what was the last one?
No, APA callbacks. Sorry, APA callbacks.
APA.
APA callbacks. So it's like we have got like APA services and APA callbacks. So
Okay, it's the name of your application. Okay. So the question is, yeah, you told you are monitoring application performance, right? So what metrics do you take into account when you see the application performance?
yeah, so like we have got like various metrics of the APA servers. APA, like we have got like um, uh, APM and decide like response time for monitoring. We also have like what like the user load and also the concurrent users. We also have API calls, but with this but with this transaction like we as well as API retention. We also have requests for minute errors per minute as well as the average and max latency for each of the application data. So
Okay. So for when I need to, if I need to check the availability of a particular website, so what monitor in Neuralink can I use? How can I create the monitor in Neuralink?
yeah, so basically, if you want to to the website monitoring can be done using New Relic actually. We have like HTTP monitoring. So we have got for the browser monitoring, which checks for the HTTP endpoints. It tracks the website details and vital to ensure through like performance and also checks for HTTP synchronous monitoring using the 200 status alert for the front end to impact the business. It also optimizes users into perceived performance metrics as well as vital load performance for the responsiveness of the layout and stability. We also prioritizing fixed board level error since I did for the what you call I did for the benefit of the user satisfaction and also the key performance of the shift. We also coordinate the source code maps for troubleshooting the backend services and impacting them as well as creating the load performance on the backend data. We also checked if there is any kind of a problem with the third-party application and reached on the top of the runtime. So and then we restart applications whenever required from the front end side as well. Like I would say like so.
Oh. Okay, so in your current project, you are using Neuralink, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Got it. What is the name of that type of monitoring in Neuralink that is used to check the site availability? You told we can check the HTTP or HTTPS availability, right? So what is the name of the monitoring?
Basically, I would like to say that for the monitoring, we have actually doing the active monitoring as well as the passive monitoring. So we have got HTTPS monitoring, which is the HTTPS monitoring inside the New Relic. This is the 200 alert, which will be actually checked by the New Relic also. So for the endpoint monitoring, we have got like web server monitoring. We also have some custom monitors for the synthetic monitoring for proactively monitoring. Proactively monitoring your website and API endpoint to ensure the content is not available but fully functional. So we actually go and add on EPA test to check certificates flow. So then it will be created HTTPS requests which are like made inside there. So
Okay. So to give an introduction about this question, right? It involves both SRE as well as incident management along with monitoring and support role.
yes.
You got my point, right? So if there is any production level issue, you need to jump onto the troubleshooting bridge and resolve the issue. You need to inform the respective stakeholders and make sure that the application is up again.
Yes. I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I start recording the session?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, how about managing a team? Do you have the experience in team management?
So yeah, basically I have got some like basic experience in managing. We have some juniors in our team actually, and so I had give them like knowledge transfers as well as working hand in hand with them in the daily Scrum meetings and sprint planning, sprint review meetings. I would say like so definitely like this is my experience on, but then definitely I cannot say that I am actually someone who is working on end-to-end source code. So um, yeah.
Okay. So, what kind of actions can we take to avoid human errors? So, if you find that your team is making some human errors, right, repetitive errors, so what kind of actions can you take to avoid those errors?
Yes. So I think to avoid the human errors, we can actually find and see like that we have got some documentation in place. We can also see if we have got some many unkind like any many kind of like unnecessary things which is added there or so. I think we can go and try to work on the human errors and fix it on the like runtime environment. So
Yeah, fixing it is fine. Yeah, to avoid tips that we can take to avoid it. One is your documentation. You are saying okay.
yeah.
How about automation? Any? Did you get any chance to automate any particular task to avoid such errors?
Yeah. So coming to the automation to avoid, like I would say like that I was actually working on daily backups of databases actually. So we had a manual database backup which was initially done. So I was actually responsible for automating there, so that we don't have to do this manually every time. So I was like working. So I was like responsible for working with various stakeholders to understand this and how we could have automated this in the real time and moment and deployed. So we could also work we could also work on the working EPA and automate them with the custom services in the valued stakeholder data. So we can also work on these automation side and deployments on those. We are also able to get these customers into points with the data with the services. So
Okay. So on AWS, what services you have used?
um, so like basically coming to the AWS, I was actually using more than like 15 of the Amazon tools and technologies included, but not limited to the like Amazon Web Services Elastic Compute Cloud as well as the virtual private cloud deployments of end-to-end automation. And I was also working with RDS related relational database service relational database services load balancers, auto scaling groups, and deployment automation inside the applications as well, and virtual private cloud and orchestration and orchestration of the inside the application side as well. So and ECS as well. So we
Okay.
created the ECS by using Terraform actually. So that's one of the things.
Okay. So give me a few scenarios where we can use the Spot instances.
Um, so basically, for the spot instances are used for doing some data backups as well as ending some long running jobs like black jobs actually. So this could be like used for non-essential tasks so that we don't have any kind of problem in this case. So we could actually use it on the non-essential tasks and save their application side. So
Please repeat again. Sorry, I didn't get you.
uh, yeah. So we can just use it on non-essential tasks so that we don't have
Okay.
any kind of determinations in the real-time environment. So like I will say so we can just make sure so like so it's like only for doing some non-essential tasks and set the application side.
Okay.
Uh, so basically they can actually get it predominated in real time. So
Okay. So is there any use case in production environment? Anywhere where you can use it in the production as well?
I think yes. Like what we can do is like you can just go and use this on the production system. Like if you want to run on some bad jobs in the night, so I think we can go and try to do and run it on the bad job in the night time actually. So because it's going to be very easy to run these bad jobs inside the application side. So we can also add the batch APIs on the application and trigger them with the custom nighttime data.
Okay. Okay. So what are the various differences between a security group and a network ACL?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. What are the differences between security group and the network ACL?
Yeah, basically, the main difference between like a stateless and stateful. So security group and the network access control lists are totally different, and totally different security group is like applied to an instance only. Like when you specify a specific security group by launching an instance, like and network access control list has the power automatically. So to all the instances, and it is the first layer of defense. So it's the second layer of defense in this case, and also lets you control the traffic going to an instance network access, and also control is like helps you to provide a layer of security to the Amazon Web Services. So these are two kinds of network access control list, customized and default multiple subnets can be bound with a single network access control list. So, but one subset can be bound up with a single network access control list as well. So, like a security group has to be explicitly assigned like to an instance. It doesn't associate itself with the subnet. So, like security groups are associated with the instance of service. It can be associated with one or more security groups, which can be created. So that's I would like to say so.
Okay. Okay. How do you identify a private subnet?
So basically, like the private subnets, the outside the outside route will be actually thorough. So there will be no internet gateway to the outside world in the routing table of the specific subnet.
Okay. Internet gateway will not be there.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. What are the different ways of accessing content in an S3 bucket?
So I think we can do that by using command line interface. You can also mount the S3 bucket to a specific virtual machine. So we can also use S3 fields, which is a specific S3 file system, which is available also. And we can use S3 fuse, which is available as a specific file system.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So in Linux as a system administrator, like what kind of activities you have performed as a system administrator?
So as the like system administrator, so I was responsible for doing like patch management as well as working on the release activities also, working with the evaluation of like various kinds of like software and fixing the problems inside the application production systems. And I also have like a good experience in cron job management, data backups, database backups, kernel upgrades, kernel patching, as well as the Ansible playbook for ad hoc commands.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And then let's cover the areas in DevOps as well.
Sure. Okay. Hi, Sarabhi.
Yeah.
So you said you worked on Docker and Kubernetes.
Yes, I did.
Okay. What's the init container in Kubernetes?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What is the init container in Kubernetes?
So like So it is like a unit container is nothing but the initialization container which is created at runtime. It provides a review of the containers in the specialized container. So which runs before the containers in a pod, and these are like utilities are like a set of scripts which are not present in the app images and we can be pre-built images like so and also with the specific pod specification.
Okay. Okay. And what are the different ways to pass environment variable into a container?
Um, I can say like we can pass them at the Docker file level. So in the like a Docker container, a Docker container CMD variables at runtime as well. By passing them as command line variables, we can also maybe attach it in the manifest file of the Kubernetes, which can be created inside it, and we can also have a custom environment file which is added there. Which is added there, so the credentials in the configuration file can be used to control the access. So
okay, so how do you store the secrets in your how do you pass secrets in your to your Kubernetes pod?
So initially when we were kind of using the Kubernetes using like Kubernetes secret management, but now we have started using Hashley core vault actually. So we have um, 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 so we are using secrets like which were used in the pod container image. Like we are using Hashley Corp actually, secret Hashley Corp.
Okay, but in order to use the vault is what you're saying, right? In order to use the vault, it requires some components, right? So because whenever some password gets changed, you want your application to reflect the change, correct?
Yes.
Else your application will be failed. So how do you handle that scenario? Like what kind of components required in order to use the vault?
Um, so basically, if you want to update that, what we will do, we will read build and vault integration. In this case, what we will do is use the command line interface. To do that, we will start with vault address, and then we will create a dev root token ID, which will be added this dev root token, dev root token. It will listen to on new updates actually, and this will be used to this will be used to store the web config. There are also web config there, so we can also start the control plain data with the mini cube dashboard, where we can have a vault hunters which is added, the mini cube hard coded call value for the address. We can also we can then use agent injector, the vault agent injects or alters the post specifications to include a vault agent containers that render the vault secrets to a shared memory volume, is in what is intended by rendering secrets to a shared volume. Containers within a pod can consume vault secrets without being valued away inside that. So
okay, so have you ever created a load balancer for your pods?
Yes, basically I was able to use the horizontal pod autoscaler as well as application load balancer to route traffic across multiple items, so I can say that. So
okay, so how did you create a load balancer for your pods?
um, so uh, so for that they are responsible for meeting the load balancer and the pods. So we were able to work on the pod clusters in the unique IP address and setup. So we were using Kubernetes load balancer, balancer for routing traffic there. So we were able to work on the internal load balancer, which had which had to route the traffic across containers to the same virtual prod cloud, enabling the service discovery and the interest in load balancing. So we can also use the external load balancer as well. This is used to delegate external load balance requests inside that. So we are also using like Intel routings on the TCP ports of the known port IP address and um, uh, like ABS road watch, which creates the bar changes inside that. And we can also use the ingress controller for creating the load balancer target groups which are deployed.
Okay, can you give me the steps? How do you create an internal load balancer?
Yes. For that, like basically, like if you want to keep it in internal load balancer, we can do that by restricted access to the application. First of all, like we will go and try to create a configuration of the ingress, and so like we will go and try to create a manifest file for that. So like we will define a service which will use a custom object to create the modification of the service definitions. Once that is done, we will create a custom endpoint slice. So we will use this. So this will be like done by using annotation inside the manifest file. We'll also delete like customer specific IP address for that, and so we can use the external IP to reflect the IP address inside the customer like custom endpoint data. So and then we actually create a private link service connection there so that we can have a valuable resource group which actually pulled out the data.
No, so yeah, I got it, but can you tell me within an ingress, what are the components involved in an ingress when you create an internal load balancer? Just let's cover only the ingress part. Like when you create an ingress, it's not just an ingress, right? Inside, what are the configuration available as part of the manifest file?
Yeah. So you have got the we have like index controller and we have a service discovery layer. So in these exposes like HTTP and HTTPS routes from onsite so from offsite to the cluster within that cluster traffic. So in the inverse, you have got the routing rules. So you also have a service, and then the traffic flows through the through the pod. So ingress exposes HTTP routes from inside the cluster to the services within the cluster. And yeah, like in this case, then the cluster gets all the traffic control by the rules defined in the ingress resource, and then like moves on its traffic inside there. So which we will use in the domination of the SSL, and then name-based virtual hosting in the ingress controller. It's also responsible for fulfilling the ingress usually within the load balancer. Though it may configure the edge router or additional front ends to help handle the traffic. So in the ingress, we expose the arbitrary pods.
Okay. And would you use any annotation for your ingress?
Yeah, for that, like I would like to say that the annotations are used we will for that we will define the resource with ng ingress rewrite target in the specific file. Will define the rules and path for the backend which will be called out.
I didn't get that. Can you give me like one annotation which you'll be using, especially for the internal load balance?
Yes. And like sorry, just give me a second. We can use like ng ingress kubernetes io/rewrite target actually ingress cv ingress class name and also the rules will be and also the rules will be added to the and also the rules will be added. So
okay. So how do you perform a Kubernetes version upgrade?
For that, first of all, if you want to do the average, do that it depends on what kind of platform it is hosted on. So if you want to do the upgrade of the volume, upgrade of the upgrade of the version actually. So we will start by first of all taking backup of the pods, So using the Kubernetes admin command line interface, we will be able to go and try to look at the release notes carefully, make sure the cluster is having static control plane and NCD pods, and clusters will also make sure the backup of any of the important components. And then we will go and determine like which version to upgrade by reading some of the documentation which is available. So there,
Okay. So let's say you have a version 1.22 and you want to upgrade that to 1.25 of the Kubernetes version. Is that possible at one time?
Yes, it's like what happens like you can do that, so you can like just mark the update. Uh, Actually we can use like apt mark untold cube admin actually at dash get app dash get update and app dash get install dash y, and we can do like and other like a cube admin um, uh, we can do by cube admin equal to 1.26 into dash 00 and like and app dash mark hold cube admin, and so
Okay. So you mean to say it is possible, right? You mean to say it is possible to upgrade the version from 22 to 25. It's possible in one go.
yes, it's possible.
Okay. So you never faced any challenges with upgrading the version.
I can like so basically sometimes we have some issues, but then yeah, we can solve them through the community portal actually, wherein we can start. So
okay. And how do you make a node as a non-schedulable?
So we can just add data we can just add date. So in the Kubernetes, if you want to make it node or not, it should be labeled, so we can just add a date or like anti affinity, so we can use a tangent toleration. So so node affinity is the like property of the node pod, and that attracts into the set of nodes. So then set the opposite, then we can allow a node to repel a set of ports. So we can use a custom theme which will help you to add the specific service and say that. So specific service actually. So
Okay. Okay. So you said you also worked on Ansible playbook and ad hoc comments, right?
yes.
So how do you said you worked on Ansible ad hoc comments and writing playbooks.
Yes,
so how do you get a kernel version of your remote host using ad hoc comment?
For that we can use
just tell me which module would you use and how do you retrieve it?
We can use like Ansible all -m shell -a closed name R, and then we can use shell module and like name -r. So
okay. So do you know what's the flush handler in Ansible?
Sorry?
Do you know what is the Ansible flush handlers?
Yes. So basically, like flush handle in like is like can be used to do various things at runtime. So in the flush handle, we will be actually be used to do various things at runtime. So in this case, these are used to play a task plus using the meta module, which executes Ansible tasks. So these are kind of able to like handle the task, this panel for modifying and notified. So look, of these tasks, so these tasks are like internally at certain points. So implicit trigger handler runs after pre or post tasks to finalize the role execution and also the main task section of the place.
Okay. Okay. So let's give one scenario. Let's say you have you're writing an Ansible playbook, and you want to secure some password as part of your Ansible playbook. How do you secure that? Like what are the ways to secure your secret string in Ansible?
So basically, like if you want to have a secret inside the Ansible playbook, like we can easily create Ansible secrets using Ansible Vault. So we can go ahead and use the secret with the storing of the Ansible Vault and set that like label data. And so this can be used to create a workflow and ease and secure manner. So we can also use the Ansible Vault password. Is this like successful encryption inside the stored data with the inventory and the built-in module.
Okay, so yeah, I got it. So when you store when you encrypt the data while running the Ansible playbook, how does it work? How does it know like it has to decrypt? Like how does it know the password to decrypt? Where do you pass the password? And how do you decrypt the data?
So for that, like we can pass the password to decrypt the data, so it can be like decrypted at runtime. So we can also making the we can also decrypt the secret by your add in the like password on the command line interface. We can also use the answer to vault decrypt command. So if you have like encrypted file that you don't know like what to keep and compute, like you can permanently decrypt it by running it. So this current saves the file encrypted to the disk, and you can be sure to edit instead. So
okay. How do you perform a logical grouping of the task?
Yeah, so we can do that in like inventory file actually. So we can do it in the like grouping of the logical grouping in the Ansible inventory file by adding like a database servers. And also we can go and do it using the built-in group module. So we can build in inventions in the group body, which allows you to have a short module even by like a Spring collection keyword. So this can have like like adult groups which can be used later in the playbook. You can also support them for the Windows targets inside, and that can add specific group names which are added inside the building module for the inventory and the host file.
Okay. And on Terraform, what are the activities you have done on Terraform?
Yeah, I have done like various activities in Terraform. I was responsible for provisioning the infrastructure as code from the scratch. I was also responsible for working with like detail for template and deployment, rolling up back infrastructure if it all required on the runtime environment. And I was also working with the third-party applications, but the customized templates in deployment API and releasing them on the rolling updates and like getting the infrastructure as good inside that. So
okay. So why do we need a Terraform state?
So it's basically like we need to like make sure that if like multiple people are accessing it at the same time, we can actually use it in the like state file along the state like on the level validations actually.
Okay. Then what's the use of a lock in the Terraform state?
So it can be like so the data from the state login and prevent people from using the state at the state file at the same time, which is like very good and nice because we don't want to unnecessarily mess up the state because if the state gets corrupted, you will lose all the data for it. So Um,
Okay. Okay. So let's say you want to run a configuration file when you do create a EC2. Let's say you want to run a configuration file on a remote host using Terraform. What kind of provisioner would you be using?
um, so I think like if you want to do that in the reform with the custom remote provisioning, we can use the S3 bucket arena for creating the S3 bucket for Terraform. So we can use the remote S3 bucket provisioner for creating the S3 bucket for Terraform actually, like which is available, which is the Amazon type for backend and using the state law form with DynamoDB. So we can use the like JSON file which will hold the at the provisional environment, which will hold the state inside the provisional environment.
Okay. Why do we need a Terraform workspace?
So basically, this helps us to segregate various kinds of application environments. I would like to say so this is helps it to segregate the data from environment is like a part of the data. Environment is part of the data. So.
Sorry, can you come again? Can you give me more information?
So this is like primarily for segregating multiple environments, production, deployment, and reproduction.
Okay. What is the command to create a workspace, Terraform workspace?
So we can so we can just do Terraform create work Spark dash or name equal to production and workspace dash name equal to production.
Workspace name equal to production?
No. Workspace dash and return name equal to production. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you execute Terraform apply to a specific resource path? For example, in a repo, let's say you have like a different resources being created, EC2 or RDS, like different resources are being created, but you want to perform apply to a specific resource path. How do you do that?
We can specifically mention that at the runtime in the resource path, I would like to say we can do that by using custom resource path. We can actually do that so we can mention that.
No, just give me the command. Just give me the command like how do you to perform a Terraform apply to that specific resource.
Yeah.
The command would be
yes. We can use Terraform apply dash target equal to resource name.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you have any experience in the Python?
I had some basic Python coding for doing the patch management and deployments. And I also working for the switch off on the machines at night. So I did.
Okay. Why are you using Python for your patch management? You would have used Ansible, right? You're using Ansible. Why didn't you use why are you using the Python? Any specific reason for that?
Yeah, we had some legacy Windows missions actually, which we were actually doing the legacy Python automation, and that's and so.
Okay. So do you know how to handle exception in Python?
We can do that by we can do that by try cat blocks into Python execution anywhere we can also using the we can also done by using the basic exception handlers. So in an exception which you can do it by using the we can also have catch exception catch block we can also catch exception which can be done in that basic environment. So like do a traceback exception. So I think a try catch can be done using an accept value which we can have a value error or like null pointer exception which could be guessed. So
okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done with the questions. Okay. Yeah, very good.
Okay, I got it. Yes, I'll cover up on the incident management. Do you have any experience on the incident management?
I do have experience in that.
Okay, so if you have any production level issues, what kind of steps do you take?
So actually, we have been working with ServiceNow environment actually. Like basically, coming to the steps, I would like to say that we were be able to create tickets and problem rep, create tickets and report the incidents and then present them to the change management board. Was we're actually working with so as a daily basis actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So my question, if there's any production outage, so for example, in the production environment, if some site goes down, so what are the various steps you will take to bring the site up back again?
So for that, like if the site goes down, so then like we start like first of all like doing like a basic troubleshooting steps inside the application sites. I think that's one thing. So yeah.
Okay. Apart from that,
so that we can also go and try to add some specific script so we can check the monitoring tools. So for any downtime, we can also understand if there is any kind of issue with the load balancer or DNS. Also, we can check the database for any issues, and we can check the monitoring and alerting systems or any of the new stuff. So.
right, you got the alert already. So site went down and you got the alert. So so how do you inform the business stakeholders? What steps will you take?
So we will do like basic checks and then we will actually go to the web server which is like responding for alert and alert for the request, and if it is responding for the request, and then we'll go to the DNS and see if it is actually routing it properly to the load balancer from there. So we can actually go and add some specific new checks by checking the database uptime as well as web server reliability. So we can also check if the connection to the proxy server cake is also working. Finally, we will also check if there is any kind of overload. So we'll check the performance metrics inside that. So.
Okay. Okay. Got it, sir. Yeah, we will keep you posted.